Welcome back to SnakeFang Podcast. I'm your host.
Welcome back to SnakeFang Podcast. This is Greg Matthews.
You can't even say podcast. This is Logan James. I'm your host.
I've been slurring my words all night, bro.
I'm with Greg Matthews. I just helped him with some stuff, and he can't speak at all. That's why he couldn't even say podcast. But I'm back with Nonsense News. We couldn't do it Sunday due to some scheduling conflicts, and Greg with his time management skills.
I have a very busy schedule.
he just was like, let's do it. Let's not do it. Let's do it. I can do it. What are you doing? What time? I'm not going to do it. Can we do it? It was all over the place. But luckily, I'm back here today after about a week and a half without you here, which was amazing. I'm not going to lie. We had Thor, Calvin, Sage, and Brad come on the show for a couple times. But I'm back with the Nonsense News segment. That mic doesn't work, by the way.
I got dual mic power.
That mic doesn't work.
Dual mic power.
Yeah, back with some Nonsense News. Even though we're not on Sunday, we're just gonna do it today. So
I feel like this mic is blocking everyone's view of my beautiful face.
Nobody wants to see you. So to get off straight into it. Yeah, straight off into it. Whatever you want to say. One of the things that I saw recently, Vermont. Did you hear about this thing with Vermont?
I did.
Did I send it to you?
You did, because I asked you to send me stuff because you try to say that I never come prepared, but I don't read stupid news, so I wait for you to send me stupid news.
There's a bunch of news
did you actually read what's going on there? Vermont. What they're doing?
Yes, I read the whole thing. What do you mean?
So tell us.
Okay, so in Vermont,
the sound bite sounds great. Get paid $10,000 and move to Vermont. Everybody's like, oh my God, it sounds great.
So it is
There's
great.
Obviously a logical reason why they're doing it.
Well, it is great and it's fantastic.
It's smart for the government.
So basically, the headline reads, move to Vermont, collect $10,000. Just like play Monopoly when you pass go. Instead of collecting $200, you collect $10,000. But the way that it really works is that you don't move to Vermont to work there. So basically what's occurring is
you move to Vermont to pay taxes there.
Yeah. Basically what it is what they're trying to do is they're trying to have people. It's not even necessarily taxes.
That's all it is.
Well, but there's a lot of other things that are in play with that. So
yes, a lot of other things in play, but that's the main reason.
You can't just move there and do that. So what they're looking for is somebody that works in has an out-of-state employer. Yeah. So you have to work remotely. So basically what you're doing is you have to claim residency within Vermont. So you said,
pay Vermont state tax on your income.
So you pay Vermont state tax.
From an employer in a different state.
Yes, exactly.
And we'll give you $10,000 to do it.
Yes.
Which is a complete deal for the government.
It's over 2 years as well. It's upwards of $5,000 per year. You move there, work remotely for a different employer. You claim residency there, which is still, if you work remotely, you're not going to live there. Like at the end of the day, would I live in Vermont? No, but if I work remotely anyways, yeah, I'll just claim residency there. Yeah, I'll pay their Vermont taxes. But there's a lot of things that are going into play there because their population is dwindling.
Exactly.
The age there is out, like I think it's upwards of like 38 is the average person's age there. So there's a lot of things that are going to play there. Like what they want to do is, I'm sure that there's some kind of government funding based off of a population, or based off of an age of that population that they receive from the federal government, the state receives, and then also the state receives the taxes from those people. There's a lot of things that go into play, and that's why they're saying, yeah, come to Vermont. We don't want you to take our jobs, but what we want you to do is come here so we can receive more money for you being here, but we don't want you to take the jobs out here because we don't have that many, so you have to work remotely to receive something like this.
Yeah.
I would do it. I would go claim residency there. Like one of my friends, like he was saying that he works remotely and he just travels wherever. You know what I mean? He's never even at his house ever throughout the entire year. So claim residency there. The only thing is, dude, that place looks like that's where they filmed all the Jason movies. It's nothing but woods. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I saw.
But I think that with the whole Vermont thing is that the remote, like certain people can work remote, like you're talking about, like can literally be anywhere. Like it can be on a beach and be pretty accessible, but like they want people to live there, I think too. Like they want people to reside there, and I don't know if they're going to monitor that or not, but like they want you kind of like to work remote, obviously to pay taxes there, but they want to retain you.
No, of
so
course.
So even if you change jobs, you're in Vermont, and like if all of a sudden, you don't want to work remote anymore. You want to work local. You already live in Vermont, so you might as well just get a job in Vermont. So I think it's a long game like that.
Yeah, no, of course. It's a long game like that. But I mean, at the beginning phase, it's definitely like
it's only $10,000. Like people are like, okay, nobody's really talking about it because it is only $10,000. I'm just throwing that out there. Like if there was like a soundbite that like make $100,000 to move to this state, like that would be national news. Like,
yeah, but if you had a job,
we're the only ones that heard about this because $10,000 is really not that much.
If you had a leisurely job where you worked remotely and can work and travel wherever you wanted, hey,
yeah, but you don't pay any state tax in Florida, so you're gonna go to Vermont and pay state tax, get the $10,000, and then you're gonna pay that all back in 2 years, 3 years of employment.
No, because then you just leave after you get it.
Because
you work remote. Yes, it is. It's after the first year you get paid upwards of 5, and then you have to stay there for 2. And then you get paid another $5,000.
Yeah, but if you make over $100,000, you're probably paying more in taxes.
Yeah, if you make that kind of thing. Yeah, no, of course. But hey, if you want to move to Vermont and you work remotely and you say screw it all and you want a quick $10K in the next 2 years, it's a viable option. I think they only have 100 openings though for it as the beginning of the grant, and then after that they move forward.
Wasn't there something on Facebook for a while that was like paying people to come to Iceland?
No, man. See, that's like something I was talking this with my buddies. It's a myth, and it was like Alaska or something too here, and I think they have a bit on The Simpsons. It's like we pay you $1,000 a month to live in whatever place it is.
Yeah,
and it was Iceland,
it was like, well, it was also like a target towards males that was saying like, there's like 5 girls for every 1 guy in Iceland, so they need to bring men over here to marry and mate with all the women that live here, whatever. And all the guys were like, yeah, I'll go there.
I'll go there $1,000 plus totally it's fake. 4 girls.
It got shared like millions of times on Facebook.
Yeah, no, it was a myth. That's fake news, man.
I know,
That's
I was
definitely
just saying it's funny.
No, it is funny because a lot of things like play bits on that kind of like, but this is an actual real
this
thing.
Is real.
This is a legitimate
this is a real deal.
Yeah, that's one of my bits. Now onto a more serious topic. I don't even really want to talk about it, but I guess we have to, even though you weren't here to do it on Sunday. What do you think about Roseanne, man?
I didn't even really. I heard like, see, here's the thing, Logan, especially with the majority of news that I know about. Like, if you mention something, I'm gonna 100% know that it happened, but I'm not gonna know a single detail.
Oh well, there's not
about it.
There's not too much details.
I don't know a single detail. All I know is that Roseanne got her show canceled because she did something that was.
Yeah, she tweeted out a racial.
Okay, tweeted, yeah.
Yeah, a very racist tweet.
Okay.
Which to me, in this day and age, even back in the day, but in today's day and age, when everything's so accessible and your things are being read, especially when you put a new show on television that's recent, that like just aired, and you're going to tweet something that's racist.
Even borderline.
Like
racist, sexist.
Why would you do it? Why would you ever even do it? Like, it doesn't even... all it is literally just letters on an app that's in your phone that's just, like, light transferring from your phone to here. It's like, you're going to waste your whole career on a silly tweet, 180 characters.
Yeah, people care about what they have to say.
Just because you wanted to say something racist, like...
Yeah, people really care what they have to say.
And it was an immediate...
If it's something that, like, is bothering them or that they see... What exactly did she say?
Yeah, I don't want to go over. It was in regards to what's her face. It was Muslim related.
Oh.
But yeah, it was racist. It was extremely racist if you went and looked at it. I don't even think I can find that tweet anymore. But it was towards. It looks like Valerie Jarrett is the person. She said in one tweet bar wrote, Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. VJ, I guess, in reference to Jarrett. In reference to Valerie Jarrett, she said that it looks like the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. Like, why would you even say that? What's the point of saying that? You know what I mean?
Didn't she say something like she was on some medication or something?
Yeah, she said that it was. She said that it was due to the medication, and the people that produced that medication were like, no, that is not a.
Look at what she said after. She said, "Don't feel sorry for me, guys. I just want to apologize to the hundreds of people, wonderful writers, quote in quotations, all liberal and talented actors who lost their jobs on my show due to my stupid tweet. I'll be on Joe Rogan's podcast Friday."
Yeah. So,
but that's true, and it's like it's good that she apologized to like those specific people, because like think about that aspect. Like this is someone that you are working on their show, or you have your entire career because of this individual, and because of that individual's remarks that have no correlation to what you feel as an individual. Now your career takes a whole nother path. Like, think about the ripple effects of what she's saying, not even just from her own like
there's a lot
public standing, but like how it affects other people.
It affects a ton of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing with that was the same thing with what's his face? Damn, what is his name? That's on that Netflix original, Kevin Spacey. It's the same kind of concept with Kevin Spacey, and then on top of that, with like the Kevin Spacey thing, was they he shot a whole movie and they CGI'd him at like that cost millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, took away from tons and tons of people. Same kind of ripple effect. This is a thing right here where they're canceling the show. Like, it was an immediate effect. It wasn't just like
it wasn't something that people were planning for. It's like, boom, you said that, okay, done, see you later. We're completely cutting ties right now.
So now they're looking into
displaced.
Possibly having a spin-off with the daughter of that show. I don't know. I don't watch that show too often. But
me neither. I didn't even know it was coming back. I didn't know anything.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Like, I was talking on the last podcast. I was like, man, TV shows today, like, nobody knows anything that's going on because our minds are so focused on binge-worthy content that, like, if it comes on and then it airs and then basically it takes 2 weeks for the next episode to come out, like, it's like, no, I'm done with that. Like, I need to have it right now in my face, just like Netflix style. So, yeah, I didn't even know it was coming back on. And I don't watch a lot of cable television either. Let's see here. On to the next thing, man. With technology, you know, I love technology. I'm going to go over two things, okay? Both of them related to the Google Home and the Google Home Mini.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
So the first thing I'm going to go over with, I showed you that video. I sent it to you. So basically what this guy did was he hooked up, like, you've played the game Mousetrap, right? Where you have to make all those things. I forget what do they? But what do they call those things? Where like one thing does another thing that does another thing. Like if you knock the dominoes down.
I was gonna say it's basically like domino effect, but yeah.
I forget what they call it, but yeah.
And then we did it in physics class.
Yeah. So basically, this guy hooked up his Google Home to this contraption, just like the domino effect or Mousetrap thing, where a bunch of different playing parts. And he literally said, Google, activate gun. And so what this contraption did was once he said that, the Google Home read that and basically used the contraption to shoot the gun. And then it shot the gun off. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, that's scary. I showed that to...
But he said, and then Google confirmed, like, okay, initiating gun or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And that's crazy. I showed to...
It's not even like, okay, pressing button now, that like didn't know that the gun was going to be shot because of it. It literally like said back.
Well, and the crazy thing is that these are still self-learning devices as well. They are still learning. They're trying to, that's like when you ask like an Amazon or Google Home or Google Mini something, they're like, I'm sorry, I don't have enough information for that yet to answer or to assist with that. Check back later. Like, they're learning with the data that we provide them. They're learning more and more and more. Yeah. So if you have just millions of people saying, activate this gun, it's going to learn very simplicity. I guess I don't fucking know how to speak.
Simplistic?
Yeah, it's going to be simplistic for it to just be like, now I can pick that up and just fucking, here we go, like set up Google Minis everywhere to shoot things. Like, we're literally creating Skynet with Terminator. Like, we just put a gun with a robot, basically. That's what we did, which is crazy. Like, and the thing is, I would never think to do that. A lot of people that I showed that to, like, they were like, that's, like, fucked up. Like, they've already had a lot of issues with it, like, with the dolphin attacks. I was talking to Jace about the dolphin attacks on one of the news segments. That? Dolphin attacks are basically where hackers and, like, people now have figured out that Google Home and Google Minis can actually hear higher frequencies than the human ear can. And they can basically push commands onto your Google Home or Google Mini without you even noticing, because it'd be at such a high frequency, you wouldn't be able to hear it. Only that device would be able to pick it up. It's just like I was telling you.
What would it say to do?
Just like whatever. Send me all of the bank information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. Or they could be clever around it. These people are clever. It's like, and that's very technologically advanced.
People dedicate their lives to scams.
I mean, I guess, but if you think about it, like everything's a scam at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I mean, like
buying water bottles,
blatant scam though.
I mean, water bottles is a blatant scam, dude, and people fall for it all the time.
I mean, there's a difference in clean water and not clean water, dude. I'd much rather drink a water out of a bottle than the one out of the faucet.
But it's been proven that actually the water bottles hold more chemicals in them than coming out of the faucet.
Well, it tastes better.
Yeah, okay, it tastes better. So yeah, everything's a scam. But yeah, that's a over the top trying to figure out something. And then on top of this, adding this, that's like you could literally mold those two together. You could set up like a Google Mini or Google Home. Like I'm thinking like Jason Bourne, like a Matt Damon kind of thing. And it's just like sitting in a house with a gun attached to it. And there's a high frequency just recording device that when anyone opens up that door, like that high frequency plays, the human doesn't hear it, but it's playing that high frequency to tell the Google Home saying activate gun, but it didn't hear it. The human didn't hear it, and then it shoots him.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I just wrote the next like big part in a Jason Bourne movie right there. So I don't know who directs those movies. I'm going to say Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg! Shout out to Logan for that one for you. But yeah, that's crazy. Now the next thing with Google Homes, I don't know if you saw this. So Google actually made an AI-backed terrarium that can show the weather conditions around the world. So do you know what a terrarium is?
I don't. Paul Greengrass was the director of Bourne movies.
Oh, really? That's why I didn't know. Paul Greengrass, who the fuck is that? I have no idea.
He just did Jason Bourne in 2016.
Did he film Legally Blonde? Oh, okay, then I have no idea who he is. Also, that was just a wild guess. But also with the Google, the terrarium, basically what a terrarium is just like an enclosed space, usually like maybe in like a glass sphere, glass casing, whatever it is, and it just has like rocks and plants, and it's all inside, and like it's inside your house. Like it doesn't need watering. Like they're succulents or whatever the hell you call those plants, succulents. And it's just a nice, appealing, nice little thing. But Google made it so it's an AI-backed terrarium that can show the weather conditions. So what it is it's a terrarium, and then it has two boxes on top. So like for the audio listeners and for people that aren't looking this up, so just picture a terrarium, and there's a white box on top and a white box on the bottom. So it's fully enclosed. And what you can do is you can basically connect that to your Google Home.
Uh-huh.
And then you can ask it, what's the weather like in Orlando? Now, what these two boxes have in them is like they have lights and they have water in them. And so basically what it can do is like, what's the weather like in Orlando? And then your terrarium shows you what it's like. Like if it's raining, then it starts pouring rain inside the terrarium. Like it starts raining inside of it. Or if it's cloudy, then mist comes down and there's clouds everywhere. If it's just sunny, like the light comes on. And you're asking it around the world. Like place could be like sunny and cloudy at the same time. So the mist comes down and showing that it's cloudy in that area with some sun in it.
Mm-hmm. Like
that's insane to me.
I know, but why does that matter?
Oh, I mean, it's just crazy to me that like it's trying to replicate essentially a weather within a specific region that it is not near yours at all. It's basically picking up the weather pattern.
Tiny.
At the moment, it's tiny. If you think about it, I mean, tiny is probably about 2 feet big, 2 foot big by 2 feet tall.
2 foot big.
2 foot big by 2 feet tall. This is just another crazy thing that like they're doing with it. And how sick would that be if you have like somebody over of relevance, which you never will, but I might, and I'll be like, hey man, check this out. Be like, hey, what's the weather like in New York City? And then basically it just comes up with dark clouds. You know what I mean? Like, it's raining up there, and that guy would be like,
New York City.
The fuck? It's never sunny in New York City, man. But you know what I mean? Like
Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
It's wild, but I just don't see the purpose in that.
There could be a huge purpose in it. You never know.
And once you scale it, the whole thing changes.
Once you scale it, then you can be like, you can take the data that you've been implementing, and then you can basically recreate a geographical location that is not the same as our planet. Maybe you could say take the data from Mars, and then it could be like replicate exactly what the weather like is there, and we can actually see if it's a sustainable life source. Like if we could do that. See, your mind's just thinking very small into
I'm
it.
just not caring about.
I'm thinking
abstract it can get.
It's huge, man. That's dude. Think about this. 10 years ago. Do you think you could be like looking at your thing and be like, I wonder what the weather like
Dude, 10
is
years
in?
ago, that movie came out where they changed the weather on Disney Channel.
No, what are you talking about? What movie?
What was it called?
10 years ago was 2008.
The Disney.
Oh, are you talking about
movie Christmas?
No, you're talking about Hardball.
Christmas weather
with
machine.
Keanu Reeves.
I am not at all.
It was a good movie.
The ultimate Christmas present. 18 years ago, from 2000.
You said
a girl
10.
steals a weather machine from Santa Claus to make a snow day. The weather machine breaks and causes an out-of-control snowstorm.
Well, there you go, man.
So they were thinking of this stuff 18 years ago. Man.
And guess what? We're doing it now.
You said 10 years ago. 18 years ago, they made the movie.
No, I'm saying think about 10 years ago, though, when you were just sitting there
this
like,
is a good movie.
Am I ever going to have something on my desk where I can look to see exactly what the weather is like and wait till, like, what if it gets so sophisticated that it's an exact replica of what's going on?
Yeah.
The AI can actually change the aspect ratio where you're not just seeing the plants, but you're seeing the actual city and, like, these tiny people, like, that's going to be crazy. Technology's wild, man. But yeah, and then let's see here. A lot of the stuff that I always want to talk to you about is just a bunch of tech stuff. I do know entertainment side. We already went over entertainment, but now on to entertainment again. Reese Witherspoon is going to be doing a Legally Blonde 3. That's why.
I thought I heard something about
That's why I brought that up. Jurassic Park's new movie's coming out this weekend, I believe.
Really?
Here in America, it's been coming out all over the world. It's crazy to me how like they don't do a massive launch. They do it like all over the world at different times. So
Legally Blonde 3 is a sequel America needs right now.
Is what?
That's the name of this article. Legally Blonde 3 is a sequel America needs right now.
Do you really think it's the sequel that America needs right now?
That's what this thing says.
Are you serious?
I didn't say it.
Do you think it's what the America needs right now?
Not necessarily, but I thought the movies were pretty funny.
I mean, what is that going to show us, dude? Is that going to show us how not to be a lawyer? That doesn't even make any sense to me.
I think it was just a joke of an article.
Okay, good. But yeah, so
They have a Mean Girls 2?
I don't think so.
I'm looking at it. It says Mean Girls 2, 2011.
Okay, my bad. So actually, Jurassic World comes out June 22nd. So two weeks from now.
It's called just Jurassic World?
Fallen Kingdom. So, and that was with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt in that?
Yeah, man. So Chris Pratt's gonna make it.
I haven't seen any of the Jurassic Parks yet, man.
It's pretty good. They're
good?
Yeah, they're all pretty good movies. I just watched not Jurassic Park. What did I just see in theaters? Oh, I saw Deadpool 2.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I'm not into that stuff.
You're not into what?
Those kind of action movies about like superheroes and stuff.
Well, that one's not like a superhero one. It's
like Marvel, dude.
No, it's not. It's nothing like.
Seems like Marvel.
No, it's an R-rated movie, man.
You know what was a good movie? Molly's Game. Have you seen that one?
Oh my god, that was not a. Next you're gonna tell me Schindler's List was a good movie as
I
well.
haven't seen it, but I bet it is good. I've got great reviews.
Goodness.
Was Molly's Game not good?
It was okay.
I loved it.
You like just terrible movies.
I do like bad movies. I'll give you that.
Let's see here.
I do enjoy bad.
What
movies.
else did I have to talk about today? I had those things. The Vermont
Have
thing.
you seen Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets?
That movie was awful.
You didn't like that movie?
That movie was terrible. That movie was a Tom Hanks rating.
I mean, there was no purpose to it, but it was still good.
Well, I think it was based off a book. It was shit. It flopped really bad, and they were supposed to make like this huge thing off of it, and they didn't because it was so bad, dude. I couldn't even get through it.
Their budget was $209 million, and it made $225 at the box office.
I got what was it? Okay, this is what I just watched. It actually was pretty good. It's called Hell House LLC. It was a scary movie. But it was super good. Like it was based on basically like a Blair Witch kind of scenario where it was like found footage type.
What was it called?
It was called Hell House LLC. And I didn't go into it with any expectations, but then I sat there catching myself like actually interested into what was going on. And basically what it is they're just this group of touring people that go on Halloween every year to different places to set up a haunted house to make extra money. And then they go to this abandoned hotel that all this crazy stuff went down in. And so they're going to set up a haunted house there. And it's basically showing like it from their point of view. Like it was actually filmed from them. And it was actually really, really good. It was shot really, really well, especially for a lower budget kind of movie. And it actually is scary compared to a lot of other like higher budget movies. Like I watched the other one, I think today. It's called It Follows, where whenever you have sex with somebody that has the curse, this ghost comes after you to kill you, and then you have to have sex with another person to pass it on to them. But it was really like...
So no one ever dies?
No, they die because like if you don't have sex with somebody, if you don't have sex with someone, then it's going to come after you. And it's just walking really slow, dude.
But then you have sex with someone else, so it goes after them. So before they die, they have sex with someone else, and then just goes never ending, or what?
I mean, it would never end if you just kept having.
And then what if one person? What if it finally kills one person?
Then if it kills one person, then it goes back to the last person that it was supposed to be following. Sure? Yes, I watched the movie.
It actually went that in depth.
Yes. So that's what it went that in depth. So if that person dies, then it goes after the person that it was last following. Which at the end of the day, dude, even if you try to get around that, it's like, just keep having sex.
Sounds like midnight.
Eventually, you'll get to the point where everyone's had sex with everyone, and you can't be doing it anymore, and somebody's gonna die.
I thought it doesn't go after them anymore. You said after they.
It doesn't until the person dies. Right. That's in front of them.
Eventually, everyone's dead.
Yeah, eventually everyone will have to die because if you just had sex with everyone, like
no one else has sex with.
There's no one else.
Until they kill them, and
then it just dies down from there. So
that's basically like what's that? Universal. What's the thing?
Universal healthcare.
No.
You sure?
It's the thing. Not Fermat's paradox. What's Fermat's paradox?
Fermi's paradox? You're talking about Fermi's paradox is in regards to like simulation theory.
But then it's like theory of eternal return. What's that?
I don't know what that is. You're getting way too. Okay, Fermi's paradox is not simulation. It's it's based off of aliens. Like,
Friedrich Nietzsche.
Friedrich Nietzsche. What about him? What do you say?
The theory of eternal return, which is saying that since our existence exists now, and everything's cyclical, our existence will always exist an unlimited amount of times. So there's no end to life and existence, and whatever it started, it will come through and it will go for a circle, and it'll just be a constant rotation. So there's no end. So I'm saying, like, in relation to that movie, like, there would be no end because eventually everyone on Earth would have had sex with each other.
But there would be an end.
And then they would slowly kill all of them.
But it would basically prove that theory wrong, is what you're saying.
How would there be an end?
What do you mean? Everyone would die.
It's true.
Everyone would be dead. So
I just mean that
the
there's
end.
Whatever.
No, I know what you were saying, that there's
no way to get past it.
Yeah, there's no way to get past that. There's no way to defeat that monster. But that one wasn't that good. But Hell House was
the concept of eternal recurrence or eternal return is the idea that within an infinite amount of time and a finite number of events will recur again and again infinitively. So if we live in an infinite universe and this event, Earth, life, is a finite event, which it is. Those are two truths. Well, the infinity is not necessarily a truth, but this is a truth, that this existence that we have on Earth is finite. But if we're assuming that the Earth or the universe and all existence is infinite, then that means that this finite number of events, life on Earth, life in the universe, will happen a indefinite, infinite amount of times.
By the way, Greg's starting a cult, so you guys can all join it. But no, I get what you're saying. I can pick up what you're laying down.
And they're saying that it's the war's burden.
Yeah.
Nietzsche calls the idea of this quote unquote horrifying and paralyzing, referring to it as a burden of the heaviest weight imaginable. He professes that the wish for the eternal return of all events would mark the ultimate affirmation of life.
There you go.
What if some day or night a demon were to steal after you into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, this life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live it once more and innumerable times more. Would you not throw yourself down and gash your teeth and curse a demon who spoke thus? Or would you have experienced a tremendous moment? Would you have answered him, you are a god and never have I heard anything more divine?
I hope you guys all enjoyed everything that Greg was just saying. It was awe-inspiring, I'll tell you what.
I'm telling you, this stuff's interesting, man.
Okay, on to my last two things before we get into sports. The last two things that I have is that the Parkland David Hogg, he got pranked with that SWAT thing.
I didn't hear about it.
So,
I know who he is,
do you know what getting swatted means?
No.
So it's a stupid thing that
that was today?
Yeah, it was today. So
Los Angeles Times says swatting David Hogg wasn't a prank, it was attempted murder.
It's a
That's
prank.
what the Los Angeles Times said.
But the swatted okay, so the news misconstrues things. Okay, they don't understand what it is, because like what they're probably saying is that the SWAT team could have came in and shot him and killed him, and the person was trying to get him to get killed. But basically what swatting is, like, it's happened several times. Like a YouTuber could be,
I see, I'm reading it now.
A YouTuber could be live streaming, or we could be live streaming right now, like where we're at, and somebody could have the location where we're at, and it'd be funny for us to be sitting here on the live stream, and if somebody had our location, like call in like a bomb or something like that to the SWAT team where we're at, and then we'd be sitting here, and then a SWAT team would run in on us, and we would be freaked out, and they think it's a funny prank. They're like, oh, ha, 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 you almost got shot in the face. So basically he got this prank on him.
It's fucked.
Yeah, it's super fucked. So I don't know how people got his address. That's why
terrible.
You always have to like hide where you live, especially like when you're a public figure, I guess, or well known in his case, or just doing something like this. Like there's people that I know that I don't know personally, but that I've seen that are like at a bar doing a live stream, and they'll be doing the live stream at the bar, and then somebody in the live stream will see like something at the bar that they can look it up and figure out where that bar is at, and then order like 50 pizzas and say, I'm such and such sitting at this table. And then like during the live stream, they'll bring in pizzas and sit them down there like, okay, that's $500. He's like, well, son of a gun. Like, what am I going to do here?
Mm-hmm.
Now that one's whatever, but to get swatted, to have a SWAT team get called on you, like that's just irrational. Let's see. Did you want to go over any more in that?
No, I'm just reading an article. It's talking about, and it's like, this is not a prank. A prank is ordering 10 pizzas to someone's house who didn't ask for it, or asking if their refrigerator is running.
So what I just said was exactly what they're saying.
Yeah, and then it goes into the dangers of swatting. It says, as a practice of summoning police to someone's home under false pretenses is known are obvious. But in December of 2017, a 28-year-old father of two named Andrew Finch was shot and killed by police after a California man allegedly called the police and told them that a man at Finch's address had killed his father and was holding the rest of the family hostage. Finch was completely unaware of what was happening, opened his front door in response to calls from police, and was summarily shot to death. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's stupid to have that. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen when a SWAT team comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and then the last thing I wanted to go over, another bad thing that just occurred. So there was a guy coaching a little league team. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
And I guess there was a woman who's known to have mental illnesses, and she actually drove onto a little league baseball field and like chased this guy down like literally on the field, and ran him over. How crazy is that?
Really?
Yeah, like she literally drove in. How do you drive? Like, what goes through your mind? I guess because she has mental illness. But the crazier thing with this was that man was convicted for a hit and run in 1968. And then this lady comes onto a baseball field, and for no reason, there wasn't really an apparent reason, but she just started driving her car in the field and hit this guy. So another crazy thing like that, like getting swatted, and then this, like crazy stuff happens all the time around us that we don't realize.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's
someone that I was having dinner with. It's probably been a month, maybe 2 months now. It was a friend and his girlfriend. His girlfriend mentioned something just like, it's a little off topic, but kind of along the same principle of you saying like crazy things happen around us all the time. She said something like, we were talking about like a sad story. She's in medical field, and she's like, it just is crazy that even within where we were sitting in a restaurant, like having a nice meal and, air conditioning, warmth, like being catered to and having perfect like shelter and food and whatever we needed. She's like, just think about even with a 5-mile radius directly around the location that we're in, like all the pain and all the suffering that would be going on, whether any living thing, like she's a huge animal lover. So any kind of animals that are without food, or that are like got hit by a car, or like people that don't have anything, or like homeless, or like whatever the case is, someone that's getting like abused, like there's crazy things happening behind closed doors everywhere that we go. And she was just saying that like we were sad for that story. She's like, but think about all of if you could feel the pain of all the suffering within the world, you would just die instantly. She's like, you would basically spontaneously combust because it would be so traumatic and painful. And
that meal basically turned to shit, no?
No, it was a hand meal. And,
oh,
I mean,
good. Thank goodness she was courteous enough to do that.
I'm going a little bit more into detail.
No,
I understood the gist of what she was saying, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's change the subject, but you're right. But
yeah, I wonder if she saw that thing that in China, like they cook their food live. There's a video that recently came out. A crawfish came out of a boiling pot, and it's one of its claws was stuck in there, and it was done, like it was fried. And so literally this crawfish went and cut off its own arm so it could fully escape that boiling pot.
Really?
Wonder if you should show that person that video. But I totally understand what she's saying as well. Like there's so much stuff, even in a small radius. Like I'm talking about a broad radius. What that person's talking about is just even in a smaller radius. You could take it in like this aspect, like on this street, like you don't know exactly what's going on, but there's things that are going on. There's crazy things that are going on all the time that we don't know. So I guess just be aware, and don't be a person that swats people. I hope, please don't swat me. Nobody, please don't figure out where I live. That won't be fun. That won't be nice. Now on to sports, dude. Now on to the sports section here. You're the sports guy, man. What are my sports here for this nonsense news?
It's all nonsense because the Golden State Warriors are paying the referees in the NBA.
122 to 100, that's paying the refs?
Dude, game 1 was a load of crapola.
Yeah, about that with the game 1, dude. What do you think about, what's his face?
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith.
I feel bad for him. And, like, I tried to explain what happened to somebody. And I don't even know if J.R. knows it, but I know what happened. Because I know sports. So you
know what happened to the guy.
And he might not even know it.
And he doesn't even know what happened to his own life.
Drop some knowledge on you right now? Okay, so this is what's happening.
Not really.
Logan. So I don't know the exact score, but I would say, say it's roughly 100. I think it was like 101 to 101.
No, let's just say it was 0-0. 0-0 ball game. At the very end.
Okay, but this
because it's tied still.
Yeah, but it makes more sense. So it's 0. Let's just do it because I think the final. What was the overtime score? Let me just get the score.
I think it was 257 to 310.
Golden State versus Cleveland.
Man, my sports guy is not on it today. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm saying.
I know that the one game 2.
Okay, what's 114 minus 7? 107.
Is that
so
what
it's
it
107, 107.
Quick
okay,
maths.
So perfect. So it was 104 to 104.
Yeah.
Was the score. And LeBron James drives down the court, lays the ball in the hoop. So now it's 106 to 104. Golden State gets the ball back. Dribbles it down. Steph Curry dribbles down, goes for a 2-point shot. Mind you, what's the score right now?
It's 104 to 106.
Okay, but what was the score before that?
104, 104.
It was tied. It was tied.
Well, I said that.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
0-0.
In a player's mind, so when you're on the court and someone's like, the score's right there. Go look on an NBA court. Go look at where the score is. They have a big projector on top, so you'll see the players all the time. They'll step back and they'll look up like this because they're underneath it. They can't see the score from there. And then it is in different areas across the border of the outside of the arena. It is there, but it's different in all arenas. And they're playing in Golden State. It's not their home arena, so he doesn't know where to go to all the time. So they're not really looking at the score. They know by up or down points. So the score's tied. LeBron lays up a basket for 2 points. Now they're up 2. Steph Curry goes and lays up a basket for 2 points. Now they're tied again. But Steph Curry got fouled, so he goes to the free throw line for an and one shot. Boom, he makes his and one shot. The ball goes down. All these things are happening. But J.R. Smith, all he knows is bucket made, ties, scores tied. So now in his mind, when his guy goes to the line and makes that first free throw, he's like, okay, the score's just tied because we made a bucket and then they made a bucket. We just went up 1 because we got the ball back and went in. He failed to, and it's different than a 3-point shot because in your mind as a basketball player, you know that if they make a 2-point bucket and then you see a guy make a 3, in your mind you're like, oh, he just made a 3, so now we're down 1. But there was a delay in him realizing that he made the bucket and then that extra, because that's a tough play that doesn't happen a lot in and one. A lot of times when a guy gets fouled, he misses and they get 2 free throws, but. Look at the stats. It's probably 2 to 3 times a game where a guy actually makes it and then gets an and one and makes his free throw. It doesn't happen a lot. So in a high pressure moment when things are going really, really fast through a player's head, he's sitting there and he's like, dude, we're tied. All of a sudden that first free throw goes in. He's like, okay, now we're up 1. Or he's just kind of questioning in his head, but he doesn't have time to look around or whatever. He's focused on the game. But in his mind, he's probably like, oh, they're up 1. And then another thing is like he's not even thinking he's getting the offensive rebound. He's not even paying attention. All of a sudden the ball falls right in his lap. It goes right over Kevin Durant, right in his lap. He gets the ball and he just panics. And he's like, we're already up 1. Dribble it out. So he dribbles it out. Then all of a sudden he realizes and everybody's pointing at him like, dude, throw the ball. That he forgets. But like something like that, everyone's like, it's unexcusable. It's this and that, whatever. Sure, it's absolutely unexcusable. But like it happens, so move on. But that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the charge block reversal. Did you hear about this?
Well, I did, but I wanted to just bring it back a bit. Why doesn't he just keep score in his head? Just keep score, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in a NBA basketball game, I guarantee you for certain points in the game when it's in the first and second quarter, they don't know what the score is. They know the vibe. They know we're about up 10. We're about down 10. We're about near tied. But every single possession, dude, the score's not in like right there spot right in front of them. They don't have it on their finger. They can't just
count. Just count them. Just count.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what they're counting. They're not counting. They're not counting the exact score. He's not like sitting there like, okay, it's 102, 102. Bucket goes in. Okay, it's 102, 104. Okay, no. When it gets down to the end, they're like, we're tied. In his head, he's like, we're tied. We make a bucket, we're up a bucket. Then they go down. If they make a 3, he knows that they're down 1, but they didn't make a 3. They made a bucket, a 2 buckets. So he's like, oh, okay, we're tied. He's not even probably in there on the free throw. He's probably like standing back, getting information from the coach or whatever, not even really paying attention, just creating it as a timeout in his head. The extra free throw goes in, which puts them up 1. So in his head, they're tied. But really, they're up 1. So the first free throw is a tie game, but really, it wasn't.
Well, I get all of that, but even a bigger deal is that why that guy missed the free throw.
I guess.
If that guy didn't miss the free throw, none of this
Dude, that's a high-pressure free throw. I was very shocked he made the first one. He looked scared he looked nervous going to the first one.
So I blame it on that guy. And then second off, also, I did see the play. And whatever they want to say, whatever they want to talk about, it doesn't matter because he had 2 guys on him. He ran out. Oh, yeah, he ran out. Okay? But he had 2 guys on him at the beginning. You think he's really going to make that shot? Then they're like, pass it to LeBron, and LeBron had 2 guys on him. Yeah, I get it. It's LeBron.
He clearly was dribbling out at a high pace, like he was trying to get away from.
I understand that.
Sprinting away from the hoop. But
for people to think that, he would have made it, dude, I would say fuck no. He would have had no shot.
Put up a shot.
he would have had no shot. But I thought they had a timeout. They had one timeout left
he should
over.
have at least, as soon as he caught the ball.
I thought the coach was the one that
the player with the ball has to do it.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay,
and that's why LeBron was calling for timeout, but he didn't have the ball. They're not going to reward him a timeout. The player with the ball needs to hold it and call timeout.
Okay.
Anyways,
charge foul.
Charge block foul. So
I think it was legitimate.
You thought it was a block?
Yeah.
I thought it was a charge, honestly. Like, I think that it's tough to say. I was gonna say, like, I think that who the player is matters.
Obviously,
it does.
They're not paying the
Kobe
refs,
Bryant
dude.
goes to the line 20 times a game. You know,
they're not.
That's
paying,
what happened back in the
not,
day when Kobe Bryant, LeBron James goes to the line a lot. I mean, those guys get calls. So LeBron's going. I get it as Kevin Durant. They're big on big, but like the guy underneath the hoop who technically. Now they're saying like both guys had the ability to call it. It's technically the guy underneath the hoop's call. It's his call. He's about to call a charge. Then he sees the other guy about to call block. So they say pause. They call a charge on the floor. They go to the booth and review it. And then they overturn it to a block. It wasn't a blatant block. Like his foot was planted. His other foot was sliding. But that's okay. You can have it sliding. As long as he's squared up. He's got this foot planted there. And he takes it. He goes like this though. A lot of guys take a block with their open chest and they fall straight back. He went like this and kind of protected himself. You're legally allowed to do that. It doesn't look as good as a regular charge, but like he was clearly in position in front of Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant went right through him. Like it was a charge. And anyways, if you want to call it a block, whatever, I think whatever was called on the floor should have just stood.
Well, they went back to it.
How can you overturn a call on LeBron like that? Man?
They went back to it. I mean, at the end of the day, like you're saying, like they're paying the refs, dude.
No, they're not.
They're not paying the refs because
the refs are trying to make tough calls at the end of the day. But a lot of things went the Warriors' way.
The Warriors are a better team than
Agreed. 100%.
All you have is LeBron James.
They're a way better team. Okay, but then like later in the next possession, like LeBron gives a pass and starts to go to the hoop, and Draymond Green grabs his arm, and they're like, "Come on, you missed that foul. That's like a huge foul call." Like,
yeah, but stuff
you can
like
always
that,
nitpick all those little things, but like they did miss a lot of calls.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, hey, LeBron should have done more. One guy
what kind of sucks too is like now the series is 2-0. I mean, Cleveland has to win tomorrow. If they lose, it's going to be 3-0. It's going to be basically done. Even if they win one, okay, cool. Now it's 3-1. Like, nobody really cares. Like, that would have made the series cool.
Unless
now the series would be 1-1.
But then what about when it goes 3-2 and then it goes 3-3?
Then it would be insane.
Basketball, I still don't really watch. I did see that, though. What else on sports? Anything spectacular going on?
Dude, there was an awesome video of this goose.
Of a goose
that was on the baseball field.
I did see that. I did see it.
And it started taking off, and it flew right into the what do you call that? It was a screen.
Oh yeah.
But it was the one that was changing. It's the one that it was like the hologram screen that changes.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like because it's not like video. It's not like video where it's moving a lot. It was just like solid, so we couldn't really see it. But it was those bright lights.
Yeah.
So it flies right into it. It hits it. Boom. Goes down. Luckily, it was okay.
Yeah.
But it was that was hysterical. I was laughing so hard when I saw that.
I guess Mike Trout's having a phenomenal season. I don't really watch baseball a lot, but that's one of the things that I saw is that I guess this is supposed to be the best season of all time in history.
That's cool. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care. But I mean, hey, he's gonna be Babe Ruth, dude. So anything else with sports?
I want to know why Mike Trout's so good and the Angels are always in 5th place in the division. That's what I want to know.
I have no idea. Oh, what was crazier though? What's crazier is that there's a guy on the Braves. I forget his name, Clubberhouse or something like that. He just hit 3 walk-off home runs in 3 separate games in a week.
What?
And he's a pinch hitter, and he only has like 8 home runs ever.
What's his name?
Clubberhouse, I think his name is.
For who?
For the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves. I want to say Clubberhouse, something like that. I'm not 100% sure on what his name is. Do you have it pulling up over there?
No, my internet's not working.
Oh, neither is mine.
It's dead.
Dead internet. All right, that's about it, man.
Cool.
That's all I got. Anything else?
That's pretty much it. No.
You got back from Toronto, so you are going to come back Sunday for an actual nonsense news for this week. Even though we talked about some stuff that already happened this week, I still have some more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for checking in here at SnakeFang Podcast. And I'm working actually on my project right now. Hopefully it'll be out. I actually am going to help Greg with one of the things that he's doing. I'm doing a video. It's going to look awful. I'm just letting him know right now and letting everyone else know right now. But also, if you guys want, you can follow us on SnakeFang Podcast, Instagram at SnakeFang Podcast, or you can follow us on Twitter at SnakeFang Pod. Send us an email at snakefangpodcast@gmail.com. And until Sunday, Gregory, I will catch you later, buddy.
See ya.